Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes! We are the elite, and you are the...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case you don't, I'm a 25-year-old piece of gold, the messiah of the microphone, and the greatest sports and recreational podcaster in the world today. Yes, me. Not Rogan, not Keller, not Roberts, not Rosenberg, not Oprah, not even Obama. Just me. Yes, sir. Eiffel Tower of Power, baby. Funky like a monkey, too sweet to be sour. I am a, 13-time Bulletcast champion, I believe, but I never do it alone. He's my tag team partner, the Jim of my J, the Total of my Arn, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. He's the host of the award-winning Under the Red, host, creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots, which I listened to Curveballs and Chair Shots last week. Yeah. He is the first ever and current reigning, defending 13-time Bulletcast World Heavyweight Champion, the Canadian Destroyer, BT Brandon Tanguma. Woohoo! Yay! Brandon, hello?
Phillip, I'm doing just fine. Love to hear that you listen to Curveballs and Chair Shots. Hopefully I didn't say anything too stupid.
It was the New Jack. It was when you guys paid tribute to New Jack. I had to hear that.
Okay.
Yes.
But I'm doing okay, to be honest. Pretty exhausted. Been working all day, and then I still have to do some more stuff once we're done. But I'm here. No days off. Still my gimmick. Let's do it.
No days off, baby. Let's make it happen. All right. Before we do anything, you already know what we have to do. You already know what we have to do. HD for Life. It is on teesprings.com. It is a graffiti t-shirt company started by a good friend of mine. Yeah, man, get those graphic graffiti tees. Do it. Let's do it. Follow them on Twitter and Instagram, hd.for.life. Designs, Get It Done 1 and 2, Hurry Up 1 and 2, H-Dog, Mr. Sapa 1 and 2, Mother's Love, King H-Dog, H-Dog-Get It, HD for Life Americana, Mr. Pimpin', Common Sense, Soldier H-Dog, Life Safety, HD for Life Safety, Lily's Love, HD for Life, Orange and Pink, Softball Life, Reunite, Generations, and Little Rena. Ooh, I messed it up. I'm sorry, guys. Little Rena, Little H-Dog, Explode, Show Quality 1, 2, and 3, Drinkware, Fanny Pack, Socks, Hoodies, T-shirts, Sweatpants, Tank Tops, Face Masks, Tote Bags, Pillows, Mugs, beach towels, posters, blankets, phone cases, stickers, and so much more. HD for Life, teesprings.com. Socials, once again, Twitter and Instagram, hd.for.life. Brother. The brother's not a part of it, but you get the drift. All right, Brandon, we have some huge news that broke earlier this morning. Why don't you take that away?
Yes, Phillip, we do have some huge news. We broke it. I mean, not us personally, but we posted about it on the Bulletcast Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, go and check that out. It's a great follow. Curveballs and Chair Shots even reposted on their story. So, yes, AEW Dynamite has a new home. It will be moving to TBS in January 2022. So Warner Media announced today that starting on January 2022, AEW Dynamite will move to TBS with the long-touted new hour-long series called AEW Rampage, now debuting on TNT on Friday. It's going to debut on Friday, August 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern, and the show will also move to TBS in 2022, but may not remain on Fridays after the move. So a lot of moving parts. I mean, we talked about it. I know I talked about it on the little two-week little brief under the radar with the new NHL deal that Turner Media was able to acquire, and we wondered if this is going to throw AEW programming for a loop, and maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. We don't know, but AEW no longer on TNT, going to TBS. Still a long WCW history there, but not as prestigious.
Okay, so a couple of things. I barely had time to really read the thing. Rampage, I like the name. That's different. This is their WCW Thunder. Dynamite moving to TBS. I mean, hey, like Clash of Champions, that stuff was on TBS, and don't forget they're gonna be doing specials like that, like 4 specials like that, like pay-per-view quality specials on free TV, kind of like WCW used to do. So that's interesting. I would have kept Dynamite on. I would have kept it on TNT for the simple reason we're used to it now. I mean, we can just flip the channel, sure, but I mean, It's something about wrestling just being on TNT itself. Now TBS, of course, it's still affiliated with Time Warner and Warner Media and all that, or all that other stuff, Turner Media. But yeah, man, I mean, I would have kept it on TNT if we could have figured out a way. Now, I mean, maybe what do they air on Thursday nights on TNT? Do we know? No, we don't know.
That is the basketball night.
Okay, those are basketball. Okay, so that's basketball. What are they? Tuesday's basketball too, huh?
Occasionally.
Okay, occasionally. What about? No, I mean, you don't want to go on Monday nights. I mean, they'd probably win that. Yeah. So maybe that was the best move. Looking at it now, Rampage. I'm excited. So, what does that mean for Dark and Elevation?
I would assume they would remain the same
Still go on.
Unless maybe just Dark proper just kind of melds into Elevation. I don't know, but I'll be honest, I haven't seen a YouTube AEW show like maybe since it started. Like maybe I'll check something out and if something really catches buzz, but that doesn't really happen. So maybe AEW spreading themselves a little bit too thin, but those YouTube shows are mostly just to get their stars some wins and build up their stats. But the move itself, I mean, I speculated about it and just kind of what you did right now. I just looked at the schedule and was like, well, they're not going Mondays. Don't really want to go Fridays. Wednesdays obviously going to be taken if they can't move.
Saturday's open.
I mean, you don't want to run on a weekend, especially now with the pandemic seemingly over. There's going to be Saturday is going to be a not a dead time, but I mean, UFC is perfectly fine running their specials, but they don't have a weekly show every single week for 52 weeks a year. That's a completely different thing.
You go Saturday afternoon. Why not? Why not? I mean, like the people you're trying to get, you're trying to get that. I mean, if you run Saturdays, people are going to be out doing stuff, that nightlife. Saturday afternoon wrestling, that's cool. That's different. Why not? But yeah, I mean, this
bring back Saturday morning slam.
Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that. I almost watched every episode. The commentary of Dan O'Brien going on for like 5 minutes about Cesaro wrestling a bear or something is just gold.
The only thing I remember about that show was like Natalia, because she was like the face of it. She was always on that show.
And Brodus Clay.
Funk is on a roll. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So that's interesting. Now, as far as Rampage, I'm a fan, man. You throw like a big name, like a Cody or a Kenny or a Moxley on there every now and again, but mainly make that show just for the younger talent. Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to moving from TNT to TBS, I don't have as strong of a connection. Like I realize it has the WCW connection, but for me, it's just a channel. Like, yeah, maybe TNT is a little more prestigious because that's the dramas, but TBS is fine for me. I mean, literally on my remote, they're like next to each other on the thing.
Well, yeah, for us, for our generation, it's just a channel. Like I used to watch Raw and Spike and USA and all that other stuff. For like people like that grew up in the Attitude Era, obviously it would mean something to them, and if they were diehard WCW fans, and just to have wrestling back on TNT, and they made such a big deal about it. Wrestling's back on TNT. We have Tony Schiavone. Sting is here now. Eric Bischoff has popped in. The Big Show. They have Paul White now. He was on Nitros. You know what I mean? So I understand that, but for us, yes, it is just a channel. But I get the connection for some other people. Yeah.
TNT was always going to be the basketball channel. But if you're trying to think positives, TBS could be the AEW channel. Now, yes, TBS does do some baseball things, mainly just playoffs. But if TBS turns into the AEW channel, that could be a good thing for the company.
Yeah, man, because I mean, Cody was on that one show that they had on TBS. His little reality series is gonna be airing on TBS. So yeah, this could become the all
John Cena's on TBS.
This could just become the wrestling channel or the Cody Rhodes channel, or I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm a fan. It's constantly moving. What are your thoughts on the 4 live specials that they're going to run?
I mean, it sounds fun. They already kind of do that. They've had their name specials of Dynamites, and I wouldn't say they're like Clash of Champions pay-per-view level quality shows. On average. I mean, there have been some, but like when they name whatever a show randomly, let's say like 60% of the time it's like kind of cool, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, so I think what this is going to be, because they have the 4 pay-per-views that in February, May, August, September, whatever, and November. These are going to be in between to kind of like finish off feud, so we're not waiting like 4.5 months to end a feud, and so people aren't just floating when they should be in the title picture like Hangman Adam Page. You know what I mean? So like, let's say if they were running like let's say they had the term Clash of Champions or whatever, right? Uh, Possibly Hangman Page would have gotten the opportunity at Kenny and beat him a little earlier than waiting as long as they have. Stuff like that. I mean, so are there going to be 4 new names, or are they going to like make Fight for the Fallen definitely one, and then Fighter Fest definitely one, and then they're going to come up with 2 other names, or what's going on? Because I know Cody's trademarked some stuff.
I mean, you can use those names. They had some other things. The one I was kind of thinking about was like the St. Patterson's Day Clash or whatever they called it on the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker show. So, I mean, that's kind of what I think is it'll be a special show, but it might be more of like a one match show. Like you're really just there to watch an AEW world title match or a
Like
women's
Blood
title
and Guts
match.
was basically, right?
Not pretty much, but when it's like Hell in a Cell and it's named after a match type, you kind of know one match you're looking forward to.
Absolutely. All right, we are going to move on from that. We have some NXT releases that broke earlier today as well. Brandon, take it away.
Yes, we do have some NXT releases, and to be honest, both of us did not even know about this until we just hit the record button. But 8 NXT on-air talent has been released by WWE. 6 wrestlers and 2 referees. So Dave Meltzer, big Dave, fan of the podcast, obviously. I signed the same Denny's sign-up sheet as him. We're like best friends. Kavita. So here are the names: Kavita Devi, Jessamine Duke, Urza Judge, Skylar Story, Vanessa Bourne, Alexander Wolf, and referee Drake Wirtz and Jay Clemens. So there are some big names in there. There are some no names in there, but Philip, what you got to say about this?
Bruh, Skylar's Story, like that was, I think that was Brandy Lauren, right? I think that was her indie name. Like she like just got there, so I'm confused about that one. Drake Wirtz, or Drake Younger, as he was known out here on the Bay Area Indies, looking to make a return for APW, I guess. Vanessa Bourne, that hurts my heart, man. I liked her, I felt like if they had like really given her the time of day to develop on TV, something could have happened. She could have been something, a chicken-ish heel that chases the title, and you kind of feel sorry for her, and possibly maybe even get a pop if she were to win the championship, if they were able to convey and tell that story correctly. And then you look at Alexander Wolf. He was with Imperium, so what happened there?
I don't know. We will talk a little bit about NXT later. I have not seen NXT yet, but he was he's in Imperium, or was in Imperium, and they were doing a storyline where him and Killian Dane were kind of having like some sort of sanity reunion where they wanted, Wolf to attack Dane, but he wouldn't do it. So that was like not a major storyline, but it was a consistent storyline at NXT. So that one is a little shocking. I mean, the Vanessa Bourne one, that was kind of the other big wrestling name that stood out to me, because she has a talent, and she's had, her little moments on NXT, mainly just kind of popping up, having like a competitive squash match with somebody and then ended up losing. So I never understood why they didn't really do more with her, but the NXT women's division is so stacked that I guess they just couldn't find a place for her. The Drake Wirtz release, you absolutely just hate to see it. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Fightful apparently is reporting that Wirtz had nuclear heat brought upon himself for the better part of a year. He had been warned for attending events without masks and not being vaccinated, and doing a town hall meeting at the performance center and like screaming and crying and saying wearing a mask is going to lead to child pedophilia and a sex ring cult, something or another. So, I mean, wouldn't be shocked. We'll never see Drake Wirtz again. But Jessamine Duke, that one, I wouldn't say that's shocking, but I guess that just puts end to rest. We're ever going to see a 4 horsewoman versus 4 horsewoman match.
That's probably for the better. that is probably for the better. I mean, I guess. Do you have anything else on these releases? Anything else to say?
Not really, but Jessamine Duke, I will say, she was the worst out of the 4 horsewomen. She was just kind of too tall and lanky and awkward. Marina Shafir, she's Roderick Strong's wife. She's kind of still hanging around. I don't know what she's doing. I would like to see her do more because I think she carries herself quite well, and maybe having her and Roderick be a pair on NXT, if and when he comes back, that could be something cool.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. SmackDown. Only one big thing to talk about. Natalya and Tamina win tag team gold. Yes, the women's tag titles are gold. They defeat Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax to become the new women's tag team champions of the WWE. Tamina finally winning a championship 11 years into the company. She debuts.
Whoa.
And we're
Don't
no.
show disrespect
Okay,
for the 24/7
okay.
title.
Bro, okay, she even said her first championship. Okay, dude. So let's come on. If she said
I think WWE definitely listens to us because we brought this up on the or whatever pay-per-view that was WrestleMania Backlash,
and it reemerged.
Yeah, we haven't seen the 24/7 title in forever. We talk about it. Next day it's here. You're welcome.
Okay, her second championship in WWE.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean, May 14th, 2010, she debuts, and then it was May 20. It was May 24th, 2010, she debuts. May 14th, she wins her championship. So, hey, man, congratulations. That's awesome. Couldn't happen to a nicer person. Incredibly happy for her. She's been there for so long. I'm like, man, she could have a nice run with the title. Like, I don't understand why we didn't do this real quick. You know what I mean? But I think looking at it, there's a possibility maybe sometime, hopefully within like the next, I want to say 2 years, that maybe she possibly gets a singles title run. But I mean, Natty, you could see the joy on her face. Another accomplishment in the books for the Hart family dynasties and the Snuka dynasty, the Anoa'i family dynasty. Another championship on the Wall of Fame. Congratulations to both ladies.
Yeah, congratulations to them. Get on the Tamina train. Whoop, whoop. But I kind of agree with you. It is kind of weird that she's been with the company for so long and she hasn't had like a single title. Like you would think that they would just kind of put her on her as kind of like a monster heel champion. Nope, that never worked. I mean, she was kind of caught in the weird middle stage to where she was like at the back end of the Divas era, and then she went into the Women's Revolution, but then she wasn't like, on the top card, and then Nia Jax comes around and she kind of like takes her spot. So good for Tamina. You can definitely see the raw emotion on her face. I will say, like, to be a little cynical, you put all this time into Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and then they just lose on a kind of sort of unadvertised SmackDown match I know they had the WrestleMania match, but this wasn't like a feud going forward. I mean, they had more TV time, more feuds going on Raw than they did on SmackDown, and yet here we are.
Anything can happen in WWE. Anything can happen in sports entertainment, Brandon.
I mean, a man was eaten alive by zombies, and they tore his ACL.
Yeah, anything can happen. Yes.
Anything's possible.
Absolutely, if you just believe. All right, outside of the ring, Mr. X is back. He is back, baby. Yes, he's back on the Instagram, it's in brightest day _X. That's the new Instagram handle. Go give homie a follow, please. Go give him a follow, in brightest day _X. Brandon, how do you feel about Mr. X reemerging on the Grandma Vinsta?
Absolutely fantastic as a graphic designer. Instagram is a place to show your work and show that everything you've done. He's posted some things, our logos, curveballs and chair shots, bullet cast, everything in between. He has some cool fan art and some, things he'll just mock up out of inspiration, or maybe on a certain day. Like I know he put a Darth Maul picture up there on May the 4th, but glad to see he's back. New logo, kind of new color scheme. I like it. A little futuristic, a little alien vibes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This popped up in my timeline. I don't know why, I guess. I'm actually kind of scared. Should I play this? Do y'all want to know what goes on in my headphones?
I'm a little scared, but I mean, if you're going to bring it up, might as well do it.
Hey, it's slap. It's slap though. Am I right? Am I right? Does it slap?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, what goes on in your headphones?
I got an eclectic mix. You don't want to know.
Oh, we'll talk about it off air. Booker T doesn't like AEW and Impact partnership. Yeah, he talked about this on his Hall of Fame podcast. He said, "Well, it doesn't really do anything for Impact if Kenny's just walking around with the championship, get it off of him, because I mean, like, really, it hasn't done anything for them. Like, the Good Brothers showed up with the Impact titles. Okay, sure. Kenny won the title. He shows up with it on AEW periodically. Hell, he walks out with the AAA Mega Championship more than he does with the TNA title or the Impact title. By the way, was it Triple Mania? Andrade versus Kenny for that title. I'm excited about that. Yeah, what are your thoughts about the AEW Impact partnership, man?
I mean, I kind of agree with Booker T, but because Impact, like for the most part, and this is always kind of what I thought about when they first did. It's like, what is Impact going to get out of this? Like, yeah, I mean, unless they were like getting a lot of exposure, then yeah. And also, like, what does AEW get out of this besides having Kenny Omega, do a belt collector gimmick? They rarely, if any, talk about AEW or Impact on AEW. They talk about AEW a whole lot on Impact, but I would suggest most, if not maybe all, the people who watch Impact are probably watching AEW already. So, I mean, maybe it's once the pandemic opens and maybe they can have a little more talent sharing and there's touring and everything like that. And maybe we'll see Impact people on Rampage and they're going to do an invasion angle and great.
All that and a bag of chips. Yeah. All right. Moving on from that, Selena Vega back in WWE. I heard this on Curveballs and Chair Shots. Apparently, there have been reports of her being at the Performance Center or the Capitol Wrestling Center. Brandon, what's going on, man?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know if she's back in the Performance Center, according to the internet. And the internet never lies, of course. It would suggest that I wouldn't say she's back, but maybe she's kind of smoothed the tensions after the little Twitch debacle that happened back at the end of the year. Aleister Black, her husband, is still working there, so there's some sort of a personal relationship there.
It was more than Twitch, bro. It was the OnlyFans. I mean, she doesn't post like that kind of content, but like she made it like after the warning
platforms.
She made it after the warning had gone out, and that's kind of that's. I mean, I don't think that's why she was fired, or maybe it was why she was. I don't know, but yeah, she had made that like after the warning had gone out, and the next thing we know, she's released. And we're like, oh, okay, oh man. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We shall see. Last up on Outside of the Ring, Double or Nothing will be in select movie theaters on May 30th. Yeah, so your Century Theaters, your Regals, all Cinemark. So, Brandon, are you going to watch Double or Nothing in the movies?
Probably not. I have not been back to the movie theaters yet. I'm scheduled to go to an A's game next week, so that should be fun. But I'm probably not going to go to the movie theaters to see AEW Dynamite. I'd much rather just, maybe spend the extra however many dollars it is to have it on demand and watch it at home.
You're saving money, actually.
I understand that, but in the long term, like, what happens if there's like the greatest match that ever happened? I want to have possession of that.
What if you're the only one in the theater?
Then AEW is losing money.
That's just that one theater. What about the rest of the country? They make it up.
But you're assuming that they make it up. If I'm the only person at the Bayfair Cinemark or whatever it's called, how do you know that isn't happening across the country?
Because you'll know.
Oh, because you'll know. I'll know.
The numbers will come out. We'll know. We will know.
Okay.
We will know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Outside of the Ring, Bronson Reed wins the North American Championship. He defeats Johnny Takeover, Johnny Gargano. Brandon, you're the NXT guy, man.
I am the NXT guy, but as I said, I haven't watched it yet. So, listen to Curveballs and Chair Shots because I'll probably watch it by that time. But, I mean, Bronson Reed, he's had like a very off and on start-stop push in NXT. He'll win a few and then he'll lose a match. And not saying this like was a great feud that culminated perfectly in this cage match, but kind of looking around I guess MSK is technically champions and their baby faces, but having Bronson Reed be a nice babyface champion who can defend it all the time, the way has other titles with Candice and indie wrestling. So, I'm excited to see the match. To be honest, I haven't seen a single thing on my like social media feeds about NXT. It's been over 24 hours and I've been spoiler free until right now. So maybe that's not a good sign for the buzz NXT is generating, because for every single week for like the past 2-3 weeks, their ratings have gone down.
Yes, it has. Maybe they should have. They should have stayed on Wednesday nights, possibly.
I mean, to be honest, the
Right?
NXT product has not been that great. So
it hasn't. No,
still better than Raw and SmackDown minus Roman Reigns. But yeah, I mean, Bronson Reed winning the title, good for him. Hopefully he can move on to bigger things. But looking at the North American title scene, I don't know off the top of my head who really I would have him go after in terms of heels in that ilk, unless Adam Cole falls down, if you call it a fall down to the North American title level. So, I mean, that's kind of the thing I see, but Adam Cole's character wouldn't want to go down to that title after losing and going when Kyle O'Reilly's doing the main title.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. We shall see. All right. Jacobs Pritchard Wrestling Academy, JPWA. Dr. Tom Pritchard, Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane. It's May 19th. Happy Kane Day, guys. Happy Kane Day. It's also my homie Chris Van Vliet's birthday. Shout out to him. Yeah, man. So what are your thoughts about Kane being a mayor, opening up a wrestling academy, learning from the big red monster? That's dope. That's dope.
I will be honest, I thought this was already a thing.
No. It's opening soon.
Oh, well. Because
like
June, I used to listen to something to wrestle with, and they're always plugging the Tom Pritchard stuff, and I thought I heard something that like Kane was kind of a part of it too. Maybe it wasn't an official thing, but Kane would maybe show up and kind of help out occasionally.
Now it's official. Kane,
like a referee with a whistle.
Yes, like Kane he's on the ticket. These are political terms.
His name is on the strip mall.
We don't call it ticket anymore. Huh? That's a really old school term for like a ballot. They used to call it a ticket back in the day. I'm gonna bring it back.
Hanging Chads.
All right.
Hanging Chads. Do your research.
So West Coast Pro returns. It returns. Cruel Summer, July 9th. It will be back at the State Room in South San Francisco. Is it South? I believe it's South San Francisco. Look, man, I'll be there. I will be live in attendance. Temperature checks, face masks are required. Social distancing, obviously. Even if you are vaccinated, still wear your mask, people. Despite what the CDC says, just hey, just guys, just use your noodle. Use your noodle. Brandon, you'll be fully vaccinated by that time. All right, now you are fully vaccinated. So, will you be at West Coast Pro July 9th in the State Room in San Francisco to watch the return of one of the hottest pro wrestling companies in the Bay Area?
Well, I will say, Phillip, you have been plugging them for a long time. You've always asked me to go and just never worked out.
To be fair, I've only been one time.
Well, I mean, we talk about it. We talk about it, but I have to check the schedule. It's 4th of July-esque week. So get to check it out. That's my is it my birth week? Probably not. I think it's the week before because I can't do math yet. So anyways, I don't want to make any commitments or anything, but it's a Friday. Fridays might work. I don't know. Gonna have to see. Well, my people will talk to your people, or my people will talk to the West Coast Pro people.
You know where that laugh's from?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to. You never seen White Chicks, bro?
I thought that was a Lily laugh.
No, they were like, "What a beautiful!" I'm like, "Oh my god, what a beautiful chocolate man!"
No, I'm pretty sure that's Lily.
Sorry, guys. Before we get to this day in wrestling, breaking news: Velveteen Dream has been released from World Wrestling Entertainment. Dream hasn't been used since the Kushida match at that last takeover. Am I correct, Brandon? Well, or whatever takeover that was last year.
I believe so. It's been a while since since Velveteen Dream has been on TV. He's been in the news quite a lot recently. We all kind of wondered what was going to happen. We talked about the NXT releases from yesterday, and now here we are. Velveteen Dream. I think people kind of wonder, like, why didn't he get released? Where is he? And now here he is.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a shame, man. I mean, he was legit the most over guy in the company, in the entire company. NXT, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, whatever. I mean, once that music hit, okay, something interesting's about to happen. I mean, he had a whole feud with Aleister Black because Aleister didn't say his name, and it was so good. He had a feud with Cassius Ohno where he came out with the boxing shorts on. There was a potential for him to become the NXT champion when he wrestled Ciampa at was it like the 2018 War Games? I mean, he was the North American champion. That was really good. I mean, the match he had with the little rivalry he had with Ricochet. Anything you can do, I can do better. The matches with Adam Cole. I mean, just there was potential to do a lot of good stuff. He should have been the NXT champion, and I don't know how you would have pulled off this character on the main roster, because I mean there were parts of it that were over sexualized and whatnot. I mean, it really just started out because Prince had died, and then he was like, oh, okay, I'll just kind of be Prince, and then it's evolved into his own thing, and he was very what's the word I'm looking for? And there were a lot of androgynous
eccentric
characteristics about the Dream, Patrick Clark, man. But it's, he was involved in the speaking out movement. He was messaging underage fans or whatever. I mean, there's no, we don't have any proof that anything happened, because if something happened, I'm sure we would have heard about it by now.
Physically.
Physically, like any kind of like very inappropriate stuff. I'm sure we would have heard about it. But yeah, man, he just kind of faded away. It sucks, man. I mean, the guy, he's my age. He's 25. He's so young. And for him to be like that young and to get this business like that, to get the character work, come on, bro. Do you think he winds up anywhere?
That is the big question. The problem with the character is very similar to what happened with Joey Ryan. Now, what Joey Ryan did, much, much worse. His gimmick, much, much more just in your face about the sexual nature of it. But when he came back, was it like at the beginning of the pandemic, and he had the feud with Adam Cole and had the parking lot, whatever, Hollywood street fight, the parking lot brawl, whatever it was called. I mean, he was kind of cold like the last time we saw him. And yeah, it had to do with the allegations, but also I think he was kind of just spinning his wheels and doing the same thing, and he wasn't being able to evolve. Now, I don't know what the public perception of him will be if he lays low for a while. I mean, he's been laying low for a while. He really hasn't really talked about it. I know, like, on almost every conference call, people will ask Triple H about it, and he'll just kind of like say his blanket statement and just kind of move on about his day. So for Patrick Clark to move on and to do something, he's not going to go to AEW. I don't think he should, but I mean, he's kind of one of those like in-betweeners of like the speaking out movement, where it's like, yes, he did some bad things, but is it really our right to like say you could just like never exist again? So like that's kind of the awkward kind of middle stage I feel like he's at. But I mean, just going back to the wrestler, fantastic talent, fantastic upside. He was, as you said, just super over. I remember at the Staples Center at that War Games, he had that title match and he cosplayed as Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I will remember forever. My boy Dominic from Curveballs and Chair Shots might have been a little inebriated. At least I was. Like literally like 3 seconds before he hits his music, he just blurts out he's going to be Hollywood Hogan, and then he comes out of Hollywood Hogan, and my drunk self just absolutely lost my mind. So I have fond memories of Velveteen Dream from that day. But
yeah, I remember that. And then Hulk added him, tweeted about him, and was like, "Yeah, I can manage a kid." And then Dream was like, "Nice try, Terry." I'm like, "Damn, that was great." I don't AEW. I mean, the Velveteen Dream or whatever he's gonna be versus the American Dream, Cody Rhodes. I there's only one dream in this business. It's me. You could do something like that, but I don't know if he would go there. What about Ring of Honor? I mean, they have eccentric characters like Danhausen. Do you know who that is?
I have been slipping on my Ring of Honor. I've been slipping on pretty much everything outside of what we talk about.
Like I'll send you a clip. Danhausen, he's different, bro. It hits different. So Danhausen versus Patrick Clark, I could see that. Technically he could still be the Velveteen Dream. You just have to be the Velveteen Dream Patrick Clark. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. So I mean, once that 90 days is up, like here, let's ask Siri. What's 90 days from today?
It's Wednesday, August 18th, 2021.
August 18th. We'll see what happens, once that time frame comes, and we'll see what's going to go on with the Velveteen Dream. It's really unfortunate, man. I mean, the guy, he really, really could have been something. It sucks. Brandon, tell us what else has happened since we've last spoke.
Well, in the world of New Japan, we have some big news. Will Ospreay, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, has to vacate his title due to an apparent neck injury. So, as I said, I've been slipping a little bit, but he had an absolutely banger of a match with Shingo Takagi. Some people loved it. Some people thought it might have been a little too long, but his reign ends at 46 days when he defeated Kota Ibushi at Sakura Genesis on April 4th. There is no word yet on exactly when or what will happen to the IWGP title. He was scheduled to face off against Okada at the wrestling, whatever it's called, like the baseball shows that they're doing. Wrestle Grand Slam at the Tokyo Dome on May 29th. That was kind of set in stone, but there's some COVID issues and yada, yada, yada. But Dominion, kind of the bigger show, like their SummerSlam, I would expect maybe that is the place they're going to, unless they have some like qualifying matches or something leading into that.
Should have kept it on Ibushi. This is why I said he should never be the champion, because of something like this. It's that old adage, man. This is why Vince kept the title on bigger guys for a very long time. They last longer. They do. Like, the bigger guys are more durable. You know what I mean? Like Okada, he's bigger than Ospreay. Ibushi's, he's a little bigger than Ospreay. You know what I mean? Hey, man, it's unfortunate. Like, when he won the title, you're just kind of like, huh, really? I guess. Let's see what's going to happen. Now, moving forward, I'm looking at it like, so you said he was supposed to wrestle Okada. Okay. So I say we keep Okada right there. We keep him in that spot. And at this baseball, he says like a baseball show. What's the name of it? Wrestling Grand Slam?
Well, it was scheduled for May 29th, Wrestle Grand Slam at the Tokyo Dome, but Japan now has a state of emergency that's going through May. So we don't, I think I saw something that they have shows kind of scheduled, but I do not think they're going to have that show in particular. Okay.
Well, if they can figure out something to get somebody to wrestle against Okada at Dominion Dominion's in June, right? Yeah. It would help if you unmuted yourself.
Well, I'm clicking on the thing, and it's like I hear the clicking sound from my thing, from my laptop, but it's not doing it. Anyways, old Big Dave says that they're going to resume shows May 22nd, so that is Saturday. So, but not like this big Tokyo Dome show, but they are apparently coming back.
Oh, a lot of wrestling going on Saturday. Yeah, man, if you could get something going, like jump on the ball real quick, and I don't know, like a mini tournament type deal. Get like I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, get like, I don't know, like 8 people. Get like 8 people. Run a little mini tournament. Winner faces Okada at Dominion for the championship, and make it interesting. Make it somebody new. Does Ishii finally get the shot?
No.
Why not?
As much as I love him,
I love him too. That's my guy.
Don't see it happening,
bro. Look, if Ishii is this when No Way Jose comes in and
exactly?
Wins
Hey, no, he's gonna have a fire run in the G1. Dude. He's gonna go like 8-2, and he's gonna make it to the finals, and he's gonna pin Naito clean as a sheet in the middle of the ring. He's gonna main event the Tokyo Dome.
Bro, look, if Ishii wins not the NW, if he wins the IWGP title, we'll talk about that dude. We'll talk about New Japan all the time here, all the time.
The Cultaholic had like a review like a year later of where everyone is from all those releases, and I had to click on it as soon as possible because I had to see where my boy No Way Jose wasn't. I think he's only wrestled like one match. He's having a kid though, so congrats to him and his significant other. So there's your No Way Jose update, people. But he's coming back to New Japan. I promise.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, this day in wrestling, Judgment Day 2001. Your boy Stone Cold Steve Austin retained the WWF title against The Undertaker. Raw on this day in 2002. I believe Hogan wrestled somebody. If I'm not mistaken, do you think Hogan wrestled somebody on this day in 2002?
I'm gonna take the field and say no.
You're gonna take the field and say no. It wasn't Hogan. My bad.
Let's go.
It was The Undertaker. He defeated RVD to retain the Undisputed Championship. Judgment Day 2007. John Cena defeats the Great Khali in a pretty passable, decent match.
It was a fantastic Khali match.
Yeah, only a few people can get good matches out of the Great Khali. John Cena and Christian. You know what I mean? Over the Limit 2012, CM Punk retains the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan. This was one of their better matches. I really, really enjoyed this match. It's probably the greatest match of the PG era, and I remember people calling it that. Yes, and then as we move on from that, we go into Randy Savage passed away on this day in 2011. It's been 10 years. That's crazy to me, Brandon. Like, we were talking about this off air, like, man, like, I feel like it was just yesterday, like that, like the 2010s, man. What are your thoughts about the things that happened on this day, the passing of Macho Man? We actually got some Macho Man fan mail too.
I mean, sad news because like 2011, I was just getting back into wrestling, and he was just getting back into wrestling. I know he was doing the Mattel thing with WWE, not exactly linked to WWE, but with Mattel, and he was maybe kind of on the comeback to have a relationship with WWE again. And I mean, it just sucks. I mean, he went out the way he went out, having a heart attack while driving, and I watched the A&E documentary on him a few weeks ago. You know, I enjoyed it. I thought they had him on the dark side of the ring, and I enjoy that one too. The one thing that they really got into that the dark side of the ring didn't was kind of more his WCW history and kind of that. I mean, kind of weird that the A&E WWE version kind of went on that dark side of the ring a little bit more.
Yeah,
of Macho Man.
We'll get back to the Macho Man talk once we hit that fan mail. Anything about the shows, the matches, anything?
Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for those shows.
Road Dogg. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. He's 52 today. Shout out Road Dogg. Shout out to the Hall of Famer. Let's hit these fan mails up. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Jack of all trades. Guys, thoughts on the Macho Man doc? For me, it didn't do Randy justice. They barely talked about his WCW run. Didn't get into the Mega Power storyline or anything, just mainly about his drug addiction and other things like that. The weakest out of the AEW series so far. Look, people called it a hit job. They were like, he buried Randy Savage and all that other stuff. I mean, and Sam Roberts said this the best after you watched the other documentaries, you left it going like, dang, Roddy Piper was awesome. You left it like Steve Austin was the effing man. Like Booker T was that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. They went too far into Randy Poffo and they didn't really get. We didn't leave feeling like Randy Savage was this great character that we all know and love. You know what I mean? That we just really focused on Randy Poffo. So I watched it when obviously you have to talk about WrestleMania 3 and the Steamboat match, and I guess it's true. Randy wrote down everything, every little bit to bit. Yeah, and they didn't do the Mega Powers thing. That was his biggest. Probably the biggest thing he ever did. And Rosenberg was on the dock, and he's right. His run that we talk about is 7 years. from when he gets to WWE to when he leaves. Like that's the run we talk about. Yeah, he went over to WCW, he was in the NWO, did some stuff there, okay. But like the run we talk about is the WWE run. I felt like they should have talked about the whole Mega Powers thing because it was such a great story. It's probably the greatest story that's ever been told in wrestling for a year, from WrestleMania 4 to WrestleMania 5. Such a great storytelling. Now, I mean, the Gorgeous George stuff, like I honestly I didn't even know they were a thing. You know what I mean? Like when we think about relationships, obviously we think Randy and Liz automatically. Yeah. So it's just it might be the weakest of the series so far. I mean, I haven't fully watched the Booker T one. I haven't watched the Sean one yet. But I mean, what are your thoughts on those kind of points?
I mean, I'm kind of with you. I haven't seen the Booker T Shawn Michaels one yet, and it's been a while since I saw the Macho Man one, so I'm kind of a little fuzzy on exactly what they all talked about. But I mean, for me personally, when I like watch a documentary, I kind of want to get some like new information out of it. Like, yeah, I understand you got to hit some key points, and they hit the key points. But for me, like I didn't think like I can understand people seeing this as a hit piece because I mean, I'm really excited to see what they do with the Ultimate Warrior one because, I mean, if they want to do a hit piece, they could do a hit piece like the DVD they did some odd 20 years ago. But yet, Ultimate Warrior and kayfabe is like this grand person who like does all these things for charity and stuff. So, I mean, that's the one I want to keep an eye out on. But, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. And with the Macho Man stuff, it's like a story that's been told so many times that I don't want to just see the same thing over and over and over again. At least in this one, for me personally, I was able to get some new information out of it, which I enjoyed because they went over a lot of like the Memphis stuff in the early days and kind of that thing. They kind of, I think they skimmed through the WWF stuff mainly probably because that has been told so much and people just kind of already know about it. So I think that's kind of from my like a filmmaker standpoint, maybe that's what they're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish it could have been better. You left that one going. Oh man, Randy, he had some demons. I mean, everybody has demons. Everybody has demons. I I wonder why they. I don't know, man. I don't know. If they were to do this series again, like who would you want to see? I'd love to see them do one on Eddie. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, the Eddie one's fun. I mean, not fun, but interesting.
Yeah.
They're not doing Benoit. They're not
No.
touching that with the
No.
500-foot pole.
That's what the dark side of the ring was for.
I mean, maybe they can do Brian Pillman, but Brian Pillman is not. I'm sorry, big enough of a star, I think, to warrant that. Even though it has a great story. I mean, the Undertaker one, I know they had the last ride, but that's probably something they get a lot of money out of, honestly.
Yeah, they could go Taker. They'd probably. I mean, I could see Eddie. I could see Taker. I could see possibly Triple H.
Maybe Hogan, but there's some baggage there.
Yeah, Razor. Huh? I know they gave him
just the NWO in general, because I mean that could get ratings.
Yeah, maybe just the NWO. They do one about NWO. They do one about DX. Or what if they went the dark side of the ring route? Because they're doing like a whole show. They're doing like the Collision in Korea. They're gonna have that episode come out. What if WWE picked like a specific event in time and did like a whole A&E doc about that? Would you be into that? And if so, like which
we get a WWE sponsored plane ride from hell documentary with Vince McMahon just saying the whole thing.
That would be dope. That would be what's up, because it was Flair apparently was running around naked. Kurt Angle got choked out by Undertaker because Taker thought Kurt was shooting on Vince. They should do a Kurt Angle one. That'd be cool.
Yeah, probably Bret Hart too, but I don't know if they want to do it because they got to address the Owen situation.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, man. So that'd be very interesting. That'd be very, very interesting. All right, moving on from that. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
Mates, the curtain call was 25 years ago. My dad says he remembers it like it was yesterday. My rebuttal: you're old now, mate. His rebuttal: find another way to pay off your car, mate. Yeah, when we recorded yesterday, I didn't realize that the curtain call was 25 years ago. Because I was watching the two dudes with attitudes, and I'm like, oh dang, that's crazy. That's literally crazy to me. So what are your thoughts about that, man?
I mean, it's a big, big moment in wrestling history. No, I mean, the moment itself, like, yeah, it's cool. Friends having a little moment, breaking kayfabe, like that's one thing. But like the ripple effects that it has, mostly just the Triple H thing, where Triple H, he was the fall man. Sean is too big to get punished. Razor and Kevin Nash are off to WCW, and he was supposed to win the King of the Ring. That didn't happen. Stone Cold gets a spot. Austin 316 happens. Steve Austin's so great. He didn't need that promo to get over to the level he did, but it just helped so much and just kind of pushed the fast forward button. So, I mean, the curtain call, it's an iconic moment, but I think it's more known for me personally just for the King of the Ring and the Triple H punishment afterwards.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at it. Nash and Hall had to step away, so I don't know what he said. I might be repeating stuff, but here we go. Nash and Hall walk away to WCW. Sean's not going to get touched because he's the effing man. Not Kurt Angle, Triple H. He eats ish. Vince told him, "You're going to learn to eat ish and lots of." He was supposed to be the King of the Ring that year. It leads to Brandon's favorite Austin winning, and we all know the rest, right?
Damn, that's crazy. I would have never thought to say that.
What?
I mean, I literally just said like that entire spiel.
I know. I summed it up, though. I said it faster than you.
Okay. But yeah. You didn't get in depth. You didn't get deep into it.
I didn't get deep into it? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I got, oh, man. Dang. I just saw something. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. Mr. X is back. He's back in the Instagram DMs. Here we go. I just want to say it's good to be back on Instagram. Also want to say thanks for the support during this. No problem, dude. You do awesome work. I've recommended you to other people. You're an incredibly talented designer. You're an incredibly talented human being, my guy. And then he also goes on to say, not sure how I feel about Roman beating Cesaro clean, but I think it kind of hurts Cesaro's credibility. Also, as the so-called Swiss Superman. I don't know, man. I've been saying that Roman needs to just beat people with no help from Jimmy Uso, no interference, and this was it. This was the time to do it. Cesaro put up a hell of a fight. I rewatched the match. Put up one hell of a fight, and he came up short. He tried to use his less dominant arm to get the job done, but that just wasn't the case. And Cesaro's not the kind of be like, oh no, my arm wasn't in full effect or whatever. So he could be like, I gave it all I had, and I got caught. He could say something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this match was more about getting Roman over and establishing his dominance than getting Cesaro credibility. And it was a little quizzling to me because they built him up so much at the beginning of the year and through WrestleMania that I was kind of under the assumption that maybe we get some sort of screwy finish or Cesaro would show more in terms of almost beating Roman, but there was never any real point in that match where I thought there was a ability of anything that he could possibly win the match. So it looks like they're going to do Cesaro versus Seth at inside Hell in a Cell. Maybe that's kind of a one-off. Cesaro wins and he can come back and face Roman at Money in the Bank or another of those pay-per-views before SummerSlam. I mean, looking around, I don't know what the actual match is unless Edge comes back. I mean, just kind of running through the possibilities in my mind. Edge versus Roman one-on-one at SummerSlam, the quote-unquote what WrestleMania should have been. I mean, it kind of writes itself.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about Edge when I did my whole spiel last week. I forgot about the Rated R Superstar. You could do that, and he. I don't know. I don't know. I think what we do. No, actually, you got to be booking other stuff. So like you said, it looks like we're going Cesaro and Seth in Hell in the Cell. I'd have Seth win that. I'd have him win that, and then. I don't know. Go, just kind of somehow we get to the Edge match at SummerSlam because there's some heat there. When John Cena got rid of the Authority, Seth held his foot on Edge's neck when he was on the no contact list for WWE, and and John reinstates the Authority and Seth's like, John, you should know me better than that. I'm gonna kill him anyway. There's a story there. There's what do you think about that?
I mean, that sounds fantastic. So look at us booking the damn territory, even though we're supposed to kind of, get in, get out real quick, but we just get off on the side tangents. Love to see it.
We do. This is just what we do. This is just what we do. All right, moving on from that, let's hit some more fan mail from Mr. X. I'm getting a phone call.
Someone's gonna phone in.
No. Brandon, say something else while I answer this phone call.
Well, Phillip answered the phone call. I don't really know what to talk about because maybe is he listening to me? Phillip, are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, you can hear me. So I just can't admit that his little spiel that he was just going on, I wasn't even really paying attention. So, yeah. We got, now he's unplugging the headphones, so he definitely can't hear me now. What were we talking? We were talking about Roman and Cesaro. I don't know where they go. You got Hell in a Cell, then I guess Money in the Bank, and that's June, July. So then August would be SummerSlam. Going past that, or I mean, I guess in the interim, what does Roman do? I really don't know, because for like the longest time, outside of the Daniel Bryan Edge thing, I don't know who I can see realistically being a challenge for Roman Reigns. And that's kind of the greatness of him, and also the bad side of him is that he's so dominant, he's so great that you can't see anyone really dethroning him, and the roster depth is so weak at this point that I don't know where you exactly go unless you bring someone up. And even if you bring someone up, I don't see anybody. Keith Lee's just roaming around there.
Are we talking about Bobby Lashley?
No, we're talking about Roman Reigns still.
Roman. I booked it last week. I booked it already.
Okay, I was just filling time.
I know. What do you guys think about these rumors about between the EVPs of AEW? Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about that.
They hate each other. AEW is going down the toilet.
Yeah.
It only lasts a year and a half.
Should we take the story with a grain of salt? I don't know, man. I mean, Cody just kind of he just drifted away from the Elite, remember? He just kind of was gone. He hasn't been with them since we were about to get blood and guts. So it's been well over a year. And the Young Bucks play to it with, I love their bio thing. How do you like that? Are you a fan?
It's dumb, and I love it.
It's
their tweets. It's their tweets, and it's the same tweet every single time, but it's in their bio.
I'm gonna start doing that. They've inspired me. It's them being cute, and it works.
It honestly just kind of goes back to their PWG New Japan days. So they're just being annoying little pricks.
Yeah, that's exactly what these characters are. But have you noticed they dress like Seth, like with the ring coats and stuff? You can see.
I mean, they're flamboyant, but they're not as over the top as Seth, which means I will go with the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks look better. And as a sneakerhead, they busting out the Diors. They creased them. I ain't making that kind of money yet to be getting some Diors. But
look, I learned this from the homie Long Beach Griffey. If you adore her, Dior her. You feel me?
I ain't making that type of money to Dior anybody.
Well, write it on the thing and say you did. I don't know. Go to Kinko's, go to CopyMac. What do you want from me?
We don't mess around with that fake-ish around here.
We don't got that fake gas. We got that real edge. You feel me? You feel me, young blood? I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a quarter of a life crisis.
I'll just walk around with my coach.
Yes. Why is Hell in a Cell being held in June this year to attract more casual fans on Peacock? I don't know why they picked Hell in a Cell. They could have made up another pay-per-view. They want Money in the Bank to have live fans. That's what they're saying that they want. And I want Money in the Bank to have live fans as well. You know what I mean? I absolutely do. 100%, 1000%. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. The Hell in a Cell thing. I mean, I'm sitting in the chair right now. They had it in October, and they kind of leaned a little too heavily into the horror Halloween aspect of it. So maybe that's a good thing that they get it out of the fall Halloween time.
Yeah, apparently Extreme Rules is supposed to take its place in October.
But we just had a match with zombies, so what can I even talk about?
It's a different level. It is a very, very different level. Was that the last one? I think that was the last one. All right, so moving on from all that, Monday Night Raw. There was a celebration for Bobby Lashley. This is probably the best thing on the show. Beautiful women accompanied Lashley and MVP.
Wait, that wasn't The Godfather?
No. He is the next guest on the Broken Skull sessions. I'm excited about that. I love Godfather.
I've been getting back on the Peacock, watching some of those old Raws, and I saw, I think, maybe the first ever like appearance of the train. Or I don't know if I say the train, but the lovely women accompanying him, the escorts.
Yes, Brandon, tell us about Bobby Lashley's celebration and who interfered, who interrupted.
Well, that dastardly Scottish man, Drew McIntyre, interrupted, and definitely Phillip didn't just walk away again. We're both busy men right now. We're doing this at 6:54 at night. I haven't had any food yet. I'm a little tired, and I still got work to do tonight. But anyways, Bobby Lashley, they celebrated him and MVP, and they got the lovely ladies with them, and those women were just getting all the heat that they can get. They were just trying to get themselves over, and then Drew McIntyre attacks Bobby Lashley, and the women are screaming. They definitely are not actresses, but
hey, bro, Twitter was wild after this segment. They didn't give a damn about the segment. They just wanted to know, what are their ats? What are their ats? And y'all work fast. Y'all work fast. It's kind of creepy sometimes, how fast y'all work, but y'all work fast.
I will say Bobby Lashley's taste in women is very, he has good taste, and it doesn't look like the John Laurinaitis type, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. But those I follow some of those women. They're very beautiful, intelligent women.
So it's creepy that they're able to get the ads like that, but yet someone hit that follow button.
I'm just trying to support people, bro. Some of these women have small businesses and whatnot, and I want to learn more about their businesses. I have to follow them. I looked at the bio. I didn't see an ad for like their businesses or whatnot, so I'm like, oh, okay. I'll have to follow them, and then it'll pop up on my timeline eventually. I don't even remember the ads.
Trying to be a good, sports wrestling journalist,
and plus,
to follow up in case any other things happen.
I only followed like I think 2 of them, bro. And it's for the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what? McIntyre interferes, and then it leads to Kofi Kingston wrestling Bobby Lashley, and he pins the WWE champion.
He does pin the WWE champion with a little distraction finish, but it's Raw.
He did that earlier in the night. He beats Randy Orton. He beats another former world champion. So, hey, is Kofi Mania 2 on the horizon?
Possibly, but I don't know why Kofi Mania at WrestleMania was cowering and selling his what off against Omos.
Because Omos is a giant, bro.
So then why doesn't Omos take on Bobby Lashley?
Hey, could we get Kofi Slam? Are you down for Kofi Slam?
Kofi in a cell.
No, we got Kofi Slam coming up. Let's go, baby. No, but honestly, man, Kofi flirting with the WWE title picture, I'm not mad at it, man. He was done dirty, by taking that L to Brock at the first ever SmackDown on Fox in LA. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts? Do you want to see Kofi back in that title picture and possibly even win the championship?
I always thought that they could have used Kofi a lot more after the title reign, and they barely even acknowledge that he's even been a former world champion. It's like he got hot at the right time. Ali went down. He got thrown in the cage. He gets over, and they're like, it's almost like the Daniel Bryan thing, but even like kind of worse because they really you really couldn't see it coming until it happened. But the depth chart on Raw, pretty much in WWE period on the top tier, Kofi doesn't quote unquote deserve it because of his track record. But obviously he won the match and yada, yada, yada. So people like Kofi, maybe in front of a crowd or not, but it's different. At least it's not Drew McIntyre for the however long he's been around, as long as the pandemic has been around. So we've been here a while. Yeah.
It's true. I think it does need to be somebody else before, because I'm surprised the fans haven't really turned on Drew yet, because usually that's what happens when somebody's in the title picture for this long and they're like, okay, we're kind of tired of it, which it's gotten stale quite a bit. So having somebody else, get a couple championship matches Add a Lashley and kind of have Drew. I don't know, kind of have Drew like be like a special enforcer or like a guest referee or something. Yeah, I think we could do that. Lashley versus Kingston at Hell in the Cell, not in a Hell in the Cell because it doesn't call for it. And Drew McIntyre, special guest referee. Could we do that?
You can do whatever you want.
I guess we can do whatever we want. Asuka defeats Charlotte. How do you feel about that?
Good for Asuka. Didn't see this coming. I thought it was like, okay, Charlotte wins. We move on. We get to the Charlotte Rhea thing we all knew we were getting. But then, no, got to love the 50-50 booking. The night after Asuka does the job in the triple threat, she comes back and beats Charlotte. So now just everyone's kind of defined down.
Yeah, it is. Charlotte's still rocking the Cruella DeVille gear. I like it. I like it. I don't know, man. Asuka needed a win because she'd been taking quite a few L's. Just taking L after L after L, like I do when I slide in women's DMs. But yeah,
which definitely didn't happen after Monday Night Raw.
What do you mean? Oh, no. I was trying to support their businesses. I wouldn't slide in their DMs like that.
You could slide in someone's DMs. You know,
I mean, like when
business purposes.
Yeah, like when I try to get interviews for this, I'm sliding in DMs left and right. I
call you Ricky Henderson.
Man, I slide in DMs on Twitter, on Instagram. I send emails. Yeah. If you
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah, I do that. You know, like when they were passing notes in high school, I had carrier pigeons. You feel me?
You said a pigeon flying around your classroom?
Yeah, bro. Like you've seen Friday when Smokey's on Angel Dust and he's in the pigeon coop. I had one of those pigeons that was in Friday. It was a famous pigeon.
Was it one of Mike Tyson's? You got like a Mike Tyson pigeon too?
Dang, are you gonna watch the Tyson doc? That's coming out in like 5 days. You're gonna watch that, dude?
Well, I guess I have to now because you told me to.
I know, bro. I mean, there were I know we just got off on a huge tangent. There were 3 Mikes that ruled the world: Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson. Yes, sir. The Holy Trinity, the trifecta. Tozawa 10 times. We talked about the 24/7 title. Where has it been? It came back. Tozawa's now a 10-time 24/7 champion. How do you feel?
Great. Gotta love all the championships just having like 2 contenders the entire time. We got the 24/7 with Tozawa and R-Truth, the women with Charlotte, Rhea, and Asuka, and then the WWE with Drew and Lashley.
Absolutely.
So much depth.
Now, this is the portion of the show where Brandon tells us about AEW.
Oh, this is where I get to take over. So we start the show off with the little 2009 ECW Classic. Christian Cage takes on Matt Sydal, and Christian actually gets a win. It didn't go 20 minutes like that Kazarian match. He gets it done in like 10 to 12 minutes, so it was shorter, which I definitely did appreciate. Solid match, as I kind of expected. Sydal creating a lot of movement. Cage is still athletic enough that he can hang, and it was a solid match.
It was a really good match, man. I enjoyed it. Christian, he's starting to get the reps in. He's starting to become a little quicker in the ring. So yeah, man, it was a solid match. Beautiful selling of the kill switch, and then what? Team Taz comes out and attacks. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes, we get Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks comes out. He cuts a promo, kind of alluding to he ain't leaving. He didn't say he has an injury or anything like that, but he just said he ain't leaving, and we get an attack on Team Taz attacking Christian. Hangman Page makes the save, so kind of setting up 2 different things with Christian Cage, pronouns or names, first names, going into the Casino Battle Royal, which got a whole bunch of names announced today, I think. And then Brian Cage taking on Adam Page at Double or Nothing age.
Yes, all the Cages and Pages and Rages and Dages. Brian Cage, Christian Cage, Hangman Adam Page, Rampage, all the ages, bro.
That's why they got 3 commentators, so each one of them could just take over one name, so they got to just bounce back and forth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What else happened?
Well, we get Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston once again coming out to Wild Thing, so that is a thing. It's not just going to be a one-off. And they take on the Acclaim. Storyline here is just basically Moxley and Kingston. They are in the title hunt, or I guess, ranked number 5. They're undefeated. And they're taking on the Acclaim, which were number 1, 2, whatever, top-tier teams. And was it Max Caster? Is he the one that raps? He was going in.
Bro, he was going in. What did he say? Said
What did he say?
He said that's all funny. Kingston. He said Kingston was dressing like it's 04, which sometimes Eddie does. He does.
Looking like a pack of Newports.
Looking like a pack of Newports. Something. Your girl's trying to give me some oral sessions. I was like, damn, Renee. She shouldn't have named her podcast.
I'm just saying. Finally, someone just outright said that. Why you naming your podcast that, buddy?
No, I mean they said it on Twitter. You know, like when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, haha, I get it. But he was like, and he even did the hand motion too, bro. I'm like, hey, Mox is probably gonna F him up in the back, like, hey, bro, what the hell?
Pretty sure they went over that before.
No, it's Hey, there are no scripted promos, there are no scripted segments. Remember, it's creative freedom. It's creative
if
freedom.
I'm gonna go out and cut a promo or rap about someone's pregnant wife giving,
fellatio.
I was going to go much dirtier than that, but this ain't curveballs and chair shots. So stay tuned on Friday for me to really go in depth and
we use politically correct terms. So the term is fellatio.
Oral sessions, I believe, is the official term.
Oh yeah, we'll just call it oral sessions from now on.
But and Moxley and Kingston get the win, kind of jumping forward a little bit. Now they are the number one contenders to the Young Bucks.
Why is he still coming out to Wild Thing? I thought it was just a one-time thing.
Apparently not. I mean, that song costs a lot of money. You got to make it worth it.
Is that so? Are they just gonna start? They even called him the Wild Thing. So is that his new nickname too?
I don't know. Well, now I'm hoping that this is just their tag team song. But
he came out to it like as last week when he faced Nagata.
Philip, I like the song, but I just don't think it fits John Moxley.
It was different though. It was like female vocals this week. They tweaked it or something.
I have no idea, but I like the song, but I feel like it's too corporate, and John Moxley is not corporate, and I don't think that's the song he put. He needs something much harder and heavier. Yeah, his other theme, it's cheap and it's a knockoff, but I really enjoyed it.
It was really fun.
You don't touch art.
You don't touch art, damn it.
No, you just don't touch art.
You don't touch art.
Toy Story 2. Nothing.
Yes. Yeah. I talk about the scene. The scene when he. Oh, hey, that's so soothing. Is that weird?
He just like an old man, just painting. A cowboy.
It's the aesthetic of everything that's going on. That's all it is. Or did you have any of the toys from Toy Story?
I had a Buzz Lightyear.
Bro, hey, let me tell you a story. Real quick. I was like in the fourth grade. I had a Buzz
2-hour podcast.
I know. I had a Buzz and a Woody. I left them on the bed, right? When I get home, they're on the floor. I don't know what happened. Maybe they do come to life. Maybe they come to life. That's all I'm trying to say.
Had nothing to do with an earthquake, a dog or cat jumping on the bed, or
I'd never had any pets. There was no earthquake. My mom didn't go in my room. Like, why would my mom just put my toys on the floor? You know what I mean? They were firmly on my bed, bro.
In the middle.
In smack dab in the middle. It's a shoot, brother. They come to life.
They sprinkle some of that Disney magic on it.
Pixie does.
Ooh, see what you did there.
AEW? What else happened?
We're talking about AEW here. Sting and Darby Allin attack Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page after Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page got a promo. And this sets up a tag team match. And Tony Schiavone just explicitly said, this is not going to be a cinematic match. This will be in the ring, live, in person. First time in 6 years, we are going to see Sting wrestle in a live wrestling match.
Okay, that's cool. That's great. But I mean, when is Sting gonna do something that doesn't involve Darby Allin? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm waiting on. It's gotten old.
When Sting can wrestle a match by himself and not risk his life,
he can have a one-on-one singles cinematic contest. He can do that.
But this isn't a cinematic match, brother.
Well, his next feud, it doesn't need to involve Darby Allin. He could do something by himself. He's not an invalid. He doesn't need to be taken care of.
He's not a child. He's a grown man. You know who else are grown men? The Pinnacle. They have a little steak dinner at some restaurant or something, and the waiter comes by to give them their wine, and Sean Spears flips the F out. We get a promo, I think, from Wardlow, Dax, and MJF. All three of them talk. Tully chucks some money, pays off the waiter to say, don't talk about this. So definitely lean into the Four Horsemen aspect of things with the money. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And I think with Sean Spears being the low guy on the totem pole, having to be the crazy one, it makes sense.
It does make sense. So I mean, we'll see what the inner circle said. We'll see if they truly accepted the challenge. That was a good promo by Max. MJF he always cuts a great promo, always, all the time.
Well, I guess that is just Philip's way of telling me to hurry the hell up because something's going on over on his end. But yes, the Inner Circle did accept. No Santana. Once again, looks like he is still under the weather, but they haven't really hinted at or really talked about him and if he's going to come back in time. But I suggest he will be. It was okay. It wasn't like the best Inner Circle thing. I think me personally, I like the Pinnacle stuff a little bit more. But it was solid. It was fine. But nothing really to write home about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sheeta takes on Reba. Definitely not Rebel. Her name is Reba. And Sheeta gets the win after a DQ. Pretty much what you'd expect. They go back and forth for a little bit. And then Britt Baker interferes, stands tall after the beatdown, and you get the visual of her holding the title.
Britt Baker put the title on her 8. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Britt Baker to be the women's champion over there. It should have happened a long time ago.
Then Orange Cassidy is getting tended to in the medical area last week, and Don Callis and Kenny Omega just kind of sit down, pat him on the back, and be like, buddy, you don't need to wrestle the match. We know you're hurt. Here's a contract, guarantees you a world title match at a later date. For some reason, Kenny really doesn't want to face Orange Cassidy. I don't know why, but
it's the old adage in wrestling: anybody can get caught. Anybody can get caught. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, 33 and a third chance of winning, but then when you take the 0% chance that Orange Cassidy has against Kenny Omega, and then you add the 25% chance that Pac isn't going to beat Omega, then that makes that Kenny has like a 705% chance of winning.
Look, man, it's the old adage. Anybody can get caught. Like I coached wrestling today. Some of my kids beat wrestlers that were better than them, but they caught them and they won. That's it. That's it. Anybody can get caught. Kenny could be working that match. Orange could get a couple shots in. Orange could get worked over again for another like 5 to 6 minutes. That Orange punch hits and that beach break 1, 2, 3. We could have a new AEW World Champion, bro. It's that simple.
We did not get a new NWA Women's Champion. Yes, we had 2 women's matches on AEW Dynamite. Mind blowing. But Serena Deeb takes on Red Velvet. Still kind of talking to Red Velvet after the the Jade Cargill feud, and Red Velvet comes close, but in the end, Serena Deeb gets the win.
This was really good. I've missed Serena Deeb. I didn't know she had a knee surgery. The last time she defended the title on AEW, I forgot who it was against, but it was a really good match. It was really, really good. It's crazy that this was the bald head girl from the Straight Edge Society. Like, it's crazy to me. I like her finisher with the detox, because she used to be an alcoholic and all that other stuff. You have to detox your body and recovery and all that other stuff. So I thought this was really good. Red Velvet, this was a very nice showing by her. She's gonna be something, man. I'm a fan of Red Velvet.
I'm a fan of Red Velvet. I mean, she's kind of one of those born-bred AEW people they can kind of bring up. I was going to say a little stat that they had 2 older women wrestle with Reba and Serena Deeb, but Serena Deeb is only 34. I mean, she's been around because of the Straight Edge Society, but I thought she was going to be older than that. It's kind of crazy.
Thought she was like 39, 40-ish, 41, something like that. Like Rebel, I think she's about like 41. Yeah. You thought she was up there?
Well, I mean, I know Reba is like 42, but I thought Serena Deeb was a little older, but I think it's probably just the old adage that she's been around for so long that you think she's a lot older than she actually is.
Yes, sir.
Then moving along, we get Anthony Ogogo in a squash match. He beats up on Anthony Gunn. He takes the American flag and was going to do something, but was
that Anthony or Austin?
I don't know. It says Austin on the script, so I watch Austin. I say Austin.
Okay.
I don't know. He beat up a gun. That's all you need to know.
Anthony Ogogo, he can go. Yeah, man. The gut punch. There's blood coming out of Anthony's mouth. Ogogo wipes it on his face. Cody's out there in the coaching role that Arn's in. Yeah, so it was cool. It was nice. Nice little warm up match for a go-go. Hey man, he's a babyface, bro. Like I might have, I know years ago on this podcast I said I'd never go against Cody. I might have to at Double or Nothing. The guy's 75% blind in one of his eyes. He talks about, the true reality of America. Cody's promo was kind of tone deaf last week. He talks about how he had to fight and strive to get where he's at. I mean, come on, man. This is a baby face. The governor is a baby face, and I'm all for it.
So you're telling me the white guy who stood in the middle of the ring for 10 minutes and talked about how great America is wasn't exactly hitting it on the nose?
No, I mean, is America really great at this point in time?
I was told it was made great again. That's what I was told.
Well, that guy didn't succeed. He failed. He whatever he thought he was going to do, he failed miserably. If he was successful, he'd still be in the chair and not Papa Joe.
And Drake Wirtz would still be the head NXT referee.
Absolutely.
Miro cuts a promo week 1, or I guess, the week after he becomes a TNT champion. Love the fact that Miro just thanked his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ at the beginning of the promo, just getting some heat from old Jesus. I mean, I popped for that. I thought that was hilarious.
I did, bro. I popped for it too. It reminded me when I used to go to church, and when they would make announcements, they would be like, first of all, I'd like to give great. Oh my God, I can't even think of the term that they would say, but it would be something along those lines. So when I heard that, I was like, ha ha.
I mean, you hear that like in sports, they'll do that, but he was just dripping with sarcasm. I mean, I don't know if it's say sarcasm, but just the way he said it was just amazing. But he just continues to go on. He's going to have a match next week, but they are also plugging that at Double or Nothing he will face Lance Archer. Archer comes onto the stage and he cuts a promo. Just talk about how he was in the opening TNT title match with Cody and he lost that one, but he's going to make sure that he does it again, or he doesn't do it again and wins the match this time.
Yes. Brandon, are you going to watch the Friends reunion?
I never watched an episode of Friends.
Are you?
Never really watched Seinfeld either, but I'm a big Curb guy, so I think I'm more of a Seinfeld person.
That's Seinfeld. Nobody cares. It's Jennifer Anderson, but Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox? Come on, bro. Matthew Perry? Come on, bro.
Yeah. In the main event, the Young Bucks take on the Varsity Blondes. They had a promo with the Varsity Blondes earlier, which I quite enjoyed. Brian Pillman Jr. just kind of leaning in. He said dark side of the ring. He knows the dark side of the ring. I get it. I know what he's talking about. But
I like that. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they cut a good little promo, especially because, I mean, we see them in the, as quote unquote fans, at ringside, but we don't really see them a whole lot on Dynamite proper. So I thought that was a nice little way to kind of reintroduce themselves to the Dynamite audience. The Bucks doing their things, dressed up in the Dior, and the Bucks end up getting the win, competitive, but not like kind of the epic match like SCU was last week. But it made sense. Moxley and Kingston come out, and Kingston takes the Young Bucks' $1,200 shoes, if they're real, and walks away.
Yes. Congratulations to the Bucks, the Young Bucks. Varsity Blondes, they had a nice showing. Griff Garrison, that kid's gonna be something. He's like 21, 22. Goodish.
And then in 10 years, we're gonna think he's like 45 because he's been in the business for so long.
Excuse me?
That was just a callback.
Oh, I see.
Serena Deeb, because she was young and now she's like 34. But I thought
so does that mean Natalia's like 50?
Yeah, well, but she's still kicking. She's a women's tag team champion.
I know, and that must mean Tamina's like 60.
I remember you've been hyping up Tamina for the longest time because you saw them in like a Dallas hotel one time, and you were right there at the head of the Tamina train.
I've been a fan of Tamina like since she debuted. I've been on this bandwagon for 11 years.
You've been on the long Tamina train.
Yeah, man. Like I'm a fan. I love Tamina. I do. And I was in Michigan at a hotel, and I walked to the soda machine. I'm like, is that Tamina? I'm walking to the bar to get the room service food we ordered. I'm like, yo, was that Jimmy Uso? Yeah, it was a good time.
Was there
Nope.
a show around, or were they just hanging out in Michigan?
Yeah, they had just taped a SmackDown, and so that was like the closest hotel. And I was starting to think, like, I see Tamina, I see Jimmy Uso, I see Naomi. I wonder who else is here. I didn't see anybody else.
Going back to that War Games, when I stayed at the hotel by Staples Center, really the only wrestler I ever saw was R-Truth, and he was getting a Starbucks.
Did you say what's up?
No, because I didn't realize it until he was. I mean, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not that kind of guy, but
I see.
yeah,
But-
I
but
don't want to interrupt it.
Did you get it? Did you get it? What's up?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, cool.
What's up?
Oh, is this
Superstar Spotlight. Who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you got?
That's not how you do. Superstar Spotlight. Who do you got? Who do you got? Who do you got? I'm gonna give it to the Varsity Blondes. Brian Pillman. You can see the tears and not the tears. I mean, I'll remember if he cried in the episode, but you can see just like how much talking about his father means to him, and he was only in his life for like a few years, a very short period of time, and you can see the passion in his eyes when he cut that promo before the match. And Griff Garrison, that guy's gonna be something. So I'm really looking forward to potentially when they win the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, I mean, I think there definitely could be a possibility further on down the line. And I mean, I know when they first signed Brian Pillman, I was like, oh, I've seen some things, and I'm intrigued to see what he can do on a bigger stage. But for me, I'll get on the Tamina train. Good for her, even though maybe the way she won and the reasonings and all yada 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 might not be exactly perfection, but good for Tamina finally winning the championship after so long.
Yes. All right, guys, a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. I think Brandon said they're going to New Japan's going to resume this Saturday. Also this Saturday, if you live in the Bay Area, East Bay Pro, their 6-year anniversary show at the Pacheco Square Garden. You can see Surza versus D-Rogue for their heavyweight title. Aaliyah Mia Sweets, Jordan Blue, and I forget whoever they're wrestling. It's a triple threat for the championship. Over at Level Up in San Jose, I will be live in attendance. It's going to be a new level. You got the world's freshest tag team, the Ugwa Tag Team Champion. Starboy Charlie is going to be there. You got Juicy Finau taking on the Battle King Dave Dutra for the Ugwa Championship. A lot of good stuff is going on there. Then after that, I'm going to be rushing home to go on Fight TV and watch Global Syndicate Wrestling Catalyst. It is our second pay-per-view. You can see the Next Gen Champion Gio Galvano and Super Nitro take on Ricky Reyes and the greatest man that's ever lived, Austin Aries. You can see who replaces Mike Elgin to take on Jacob Fatu. You can see the Women's World Cup, as we get that moving to finally crown a women's champion in GSW. Also, the Dream Openweight Championship. You got Richard Holiday from MLW. You have Tyson Maddox, who's been on the show, and a couple of other people. I think the Brooklyn Outlaw Donovan's in that. Winner walks away to become the inaugural Dream Openweight champion. That's awesome. And of course, we have Chris Dickinson taking on Alexander Hammerstone for the heavyweight title. So a lot of great stuff's happening this weekend for wrestling. Get out, if it shows in your area, go out, support your local talent, order GSW. We're doing some great work, man. We're catching a lot of steam. We got some gas. Going. I got some more commentary that's going to be uploaded in the next couple of weeks. So it's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. And our promo pick of the week is brought to you by Brandon. He picked New Jack, obviously, because he just left us last week. So what is it? Brandon, tell us about our promo and match picks of the week.
Well, we're going to do a little 2-for-1 here. They're both New Jack, obviously. RIP. Pro Wrestling Tee Store. I got to get me one of them New Jack shirts because they are straight fire. But I decided to go with both match and promo because it just kind of shows the two sides of New Jack. New Jack is fantastic promo. I mean, one of the better ones, maybe one of the best of his generation. And it just shows you that if you're real and authentic, it doesn't matter if you have a script or not, as long as you're authentic, you can get across your message and it can be fantastic. And he's out in the streets, just kind of talking about, he's from the streets, yada, 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 all these things. And just the intensity and the way he comes across is just, something that we really never really see in wrestling, especially nowadays. I mean, Moxley kind of has that, but New Jack is that. Like, we know New Jack did some things back in the day that we probably are never going to know about, but that's just kind of the intensity he brings. And then going over to the match pick, New Jack versus Mike Awesome. It was really hard for me to scour the internet on YouTube to try to find a match that actually has natural born killers in the background, Cube and Dre, but I finally found one. It's him versus Mike Awesome 99, match or song playing throughout. And that's just New Jack's gimmick. Not a very good match in terms of like Mike Awesome standards, but, crowds behind him. And it's just, a great atmosphere.
Absolutely, man. It was hot. Like I said last weekend on the, in the click and also on the New Jack tribute, man, when that Natural Born Killers theme hit, the crowd popped. You know what I mean? And then he was one of those guys, one of the very rare guys that got the two pops when the music hits and then when they enter out on stage or through the curtain. Austin had it. The Road Warriors had it. Cena's got it. A lot of guys have gotten it. Very, very few, but very few and a lot, if you know what I mean. And it wasn't like Mike Awesome versus, oh my God, what's his name? He always wrestled him, the Asian guy. What is his name? Why am I blanking on it?
I know who you're talking about, but I'm not helping you because I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it wasn't like one of those matches, but it was a great atmosphere, and it helped. The atmosphere really helped the match. And the promo, he's like, hey man, I'm not going to WCW, I'm not going to WWE. Like once I'm done, I'm done. F Sandman, F Steven Richards, F all those guys that left this place. Yeah, so this was really good, man. Like I said, RIP New Jack, one of the best to ever do it. That's going to do it for us. A pretty long episode with the two recordings, but hey, man, you got to get kind of a double dose in a way, if you know what I mean. So I want to say, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast, emails Bulletcast2 is in the number 2, sweet@gmail.com. Every Friday night from 11 p.m. to midnight, 104.7 FMK APU in Watsonville, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Spotify, Patreon. We're all over the damn place. If you are going to be at UGWA this Saturday, please come up, say hi. I won't bite. Yes, and go order
unless you want us to.
Unless you want me to. Go order GSW Catalyst. It is going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a kick-ass show. Brandon Ascari over there, he's doing an awesome job with this stuff, man. And I'm incredibly grateful for him letting me do commentary for one of his products. Thank you, guys. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, get vaccinated. It's very important. We're so close to resuming whatever normalcy is going to be. Diamonds are forever. So is the microphone Messiah. Have a great one. Love you guys.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.